So, this is part two of when I lost a friend group the second day of senior year in high school and how God convicted me. You might as well watch me decorate as we talk. So, it was the last day of senior year, and I just had the bubble guts, y'all, so bad. I'm gonna just be so transparent. I was sweating. I was fidgety. I couldn't move around. I was in trigonometry class, okay? And if you ask me anything about trigonometry right now, I probably cannot answer you, but maybe it'll all click. Anyways, that's just a whole nother story, okay? If you took trigonometry, shout out to you. But it was my last class of the day, and I was in class with group A, or friend group A, and I had two girls out of the friend group that was in there, and one included the girl that I was friends with from middle school, and something, and I know now it was God, but something kept telling me, just go and talk to her, go and talk to her. And I would look over to her, and then I would look away, and then I would look at her, and then I would look away, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get up, and then I would just move back underneath my desk. But eventually I got up and I walked over to her, and I said, hey, can we talk outside? And outside, I just mean outside of the classroom. And I had a really cool teacher. He was cool, and so I asked him, can I talk to her? It was something important. And he said yes, it was okay. And I mean, hey, it was the last day of senior year. Why not? Why not get some resolutions? So, of course, when I walked up to her, I was nervous. And when I asked her, she looked at me like I was crazy. And, it is what it is. She did say yes. And so I knew in that moment that her heart was still a little bit open to us, friendship, resolution, or maybe she was just nosy and wanted to know what I was going to say. I think we've all been there sometimes with that nosiness. And so we got outside the classroom, and I started to explain to her, and really not even explain. I started to apologize, and I would say, I'm sorry, and I apologize if I hurt you. I'm apologizing for hurting you, not if. I apologize for the things that I said and how I said it and posted on Snapchat. And I was going on, and her face was kind of just straight. And I couldn't really tell what she was thinking. She was just looking at me. And, I wanted to get an apology back, but she said something along the lines of, I'm sorry if you felt this way or that way. And we all know when someone says, I'm sorry if you felt this way or that way, that means that they are not truly apologizing sincerely. And that was okay. I was just wanting her to be open to the conversation. And she was. And I remember I had another friend in that friend group A. And she saw us talking. And oh, child, if you would have saw her face, her blood was boiling. I could just tell. She was angry. I think in that moment it was like a sense of loyalty that was crushed or broken. And it's like, how could you talk to her even though we were just friends? And I remember it was like a movie. When the bell rang, me and the girl that I've known since middle school, we were walking down the hallway. We decided to walk together because we weren't done with our conversation. Because eventually, my teacher did come out to us and said, hey, y'all been talking long enough, need to come back in here. And so we were walking down the hallway, and I felt like I was in a movie. I remember seeing Group A on one side and Group B on another side. And they were both looking at us. And I don't mean just a glance, I mean staring at us with their eyes wide open. They were in shock that we were talking, that we were speaking to each other. I mean, shoot, I was in shock. And even though I was speaking to a friend or an old friend at that, it felt different. I knew that it was no really coming back from this. I knew that the friendship had ran its course, and I knew that I really just wanted to express my sincerest apology to her because I felt like it started with her. I've known her the longest, and that doesn't mean that my other friends didn't deserve an apology, but for some reason I felt more connected to her because she got the raft and she heard it from my mouth. So I believe that at the time, maybe she experienced more pain, or maybe they all did. But I knew that she thought for herself, and so I wanted to speak to her directly. And what I learned in that moment is when God convicts you of something, it's not anything that you can do. You will. You will feel his spirit. You will feel whether it's guilt, whether it's anxiousness, whether it's, you being antsy and you can't sit still. When God puts something on your heart, your mind, and in your spirit, you need to make a move. And so me apologizing to her wasn't really for her, it was for me. It was for me to free myself to know, hey, maybe me making a Snapchat post wasn't the best decision. And hey, maybe I could have expressed myself a little differently. But I want to be, woman enough or young lady enough to apologize to your face. And that was that. I think we talked a couple times when we were in college, but the friendship was not the same, and that's okay. When a friendship runs its course, let it go. If a relationship runs its course, let it go. If a job runs its course, let it go. Whatever it is, if it's done, let it be over. If you are still listening, I appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm your girl, Ari Nicole, and look at the beautiful creation I have made. If you like it, like the video. Comment down below your thoughts. I love you guys. Bye.